was a kid, one of my favorite games was an Apple II game called Transylvania. It was an adventure game, the classic kind, based on commands. Get cross, load pistol, go house. Even though the only visuals were text beneath a static image, it managed to be scary. At least, for a little kid in the late 80s. But the point is, I love a good old school adventure game. But emphasis on good. There are a few differences between Transylvania and this game, Theresia, for the Nintendo DS. First, there's about 2 decades difference, as this one was released in 2009. Secondly, the images are a lot more detailed, and there's actually some motion involved. But lastly, and most importantly, Transylvania was fun. Playing this is it's genuinely laborious. So Theresia puts you in the shoes of someone. You wake up, you have no idea who you are or where you are. All you know is you're in this terrifying building with corpses nailed to the wall and rooms with names like Body Disposal Room. Obviously not an ideal place for a nap, but as you explore, your memory is jogged by some of your surroundings, and you start to remember things you might not want to. The game's 2 stories are the highlights of Theresia. Yes, there are 2, and they're genuinely creepy in that Japanese horror kind of way. And as you play, you actually do feel driven to learn more, to delve deeper into both this awful place and your forgotten memories. Although, it becomes clear that your memories might be even worse. And the gameplay is also, at least theoretically, awesome. You explore the hallways in real time, and when you find a so-called action area, you get a still shot for some classic point-and-click adventuring. There are really elaborate puzzles to solve, tons of rooms and hallways to explore, but the problem is how this is all done. See, Theresia is old school in more bad ways than good. The game's littered with random traps, for example, that there's just no way to discern. Lots of trial and error comes into play, and sadly so does repetition. And tedium. When you're walking in particular, the game's just empty and incredibly boring. Things could have been done better in terms of the story, too. Specifically, the game's writing. It's just, it's so slow and over-dramatic. This whole freaking game is text, and half of it's just repeated thoughts. There are things about Theresia I really like. It's a classically styled adventure game, which is great. It's got an interesting story, and it can be really creepy. But the game's flaws work against the things it does well. It's wordy, it's slow. It's also kind of cool, but really, only the most patient retro gamers need apply to Theresia for the Nintendo DS. Huge thanks to our friend Felicity from the UK for sending it in.